Yes, I want to appreciate and thank everyone who is still watching us, who is watching us from different parts of the country, Uganda, and from abroad. You're doing great. In the same way, I want to also recognize whoever and those who have subscribed at Turkey Show this this month, last month, and you're new. We just want to welcome you at Turkey Show, Yugi. Could be YouTube channel, could be TikTok account. You have done great. Those who are liking, sharing, commenting, I just want to say thank you. Yes, today it is 17th of April 2024. It's a Wednesday. The month is moving on well, and I know out there are people who are moving or going through different challenges. They are going through different dilemmas of life. And that's why today at Haki Show with Happy Christopher Kasuja, we have come to discuss a certain group of people who seem to be losing hope. There are people in whatever they are doing, they seem to be seeing no way, no goes on, no way through, no life after, and no tomorrow. There are people who are going through different challenges of life, and they have really lost hope and they have lost everything. I want to look at a category of people who really even something to eat. That little thing or that little day or that day to have something to eat is a struggle. We have a group of people out there. A man is the one who is working, and when he leaves home in the morning, says, for supper and for lunch, you wait, I will send the money when I reach the workplace. But you who is watching me at Haki Show now, such group of people could be a border rider. The person could be a hawker. The person could be a cobra. As he reaches work, be a border rider, parks at a stage and waits for customers, cannot see any customer. It clocks 10, it clocks midday, 1, no any customer. He says, no, maybe today at the stage will not work for me. Let me move around. Maybe I will find some people who are moving. Or let me move around. I will find people who need my service. Rides, let's say from Namungona, Kasubi, Kawala, Nankulabye, Bakuli, Calves Back. No any customer. It reaches 2 p.m. They call the same person at home. Yes, Tata, Jen, you said you would send us the money. It is now 2 p.m. We don't know at what time shall we have lunch and as well prepare for supper. You may not be in the heart of this person, but I can tell you, we have people out there now that are going through different, difficult, tough times. The show of today is not for those who are planned people. The planned wives, planned fathers, planned children. Today's show is not yours. Today's show is for those that have been in such a situation, who know what I'm talking about. You left home, you were a hawker. You sell a few things from door to door. You left when you have told the people at home, it's you who will come back with what to use. Good enough, they have what they will survive on for supper, for lunch. but it's you they are waiting to have lunch, to have supper. And you have moved more than even any other day. But someone has not got even a single coin. There would be a customer who would buy or would wish to buy the item, is offering the amount of money below even what the person bought the item. This is a father who has children, who has a wife, and promised is the one going back home with what to eat. Hmm? When you find some people who have been in tough situations, challenging moments, please tell them not to laugh at those, not to laugh at the people who are still going through the same situation. Hmm? Having penetrated through and now you're better, you can afford any. It does not make you anywhere special to start laughing and asking those people who are in those situations now that how are they doing it? How did you do it when you were still in that situation? Now you're laughing, people's tears is your happiness because you're no longer the same. But remember those times when even you never knew what to eat. Hmm? You visit some people and you tell them how you cannot eat food without a fork. But you remember those days when even in the whole house there was no fork, no spoon. This is a show which is only to those that think that have gone through these situations. Or you know what I'm talking about. You may not have gone through the situation, but you know what I'm talking about. Where need be, at least tell the person, mom, grandmom, mommy so and so. I'm not good at using a fork. Give me some water, I wash my hands, I eat. Than telling the person that you can't eat food without fork. Remember those days. Which fork were you using? Hmm? There are people who even find a living. You have told your landlord that tomorrow in the morning come for your money. One, because he's demanding you rent of let's say 2 months, 1 month back. And the business you do, you sell evening food on the streets of a given road. Could be Kasuri, Katwe, Nansana, hmm? Lunguja. Mention the place. Mbarara, Masaka, anywhere. You go and put your stall at around 5. You start cooking. 8. Hmm? 7:30, 7:20, food is ready, but no customers. The landlord, you promise the landlord, come tomorrow for your money. You reach a point and say, but why me? True, but why me? Even the person who parks a boda rider who stands ahead of your stall asks for the type of food that you didn't cook. Says, do you have guineas and you have beans? Hmm? I have my friends who are single mothers looking after children, paying fees and paying rent of some very many, you know, people they stay with. But their business or where their income, their source of income is a restaurant. And I'm not talking about modern restaurants. Sometimes I get money. Sometimes I pass by these restaurants with only shades, the restaurants with bipapura, bivera to eat food. But you find when it is around 4 p.m., someone says the whole food is still as it is. As you're there at around 4, you get a boda horning, beep, beep. You think now the customer has come. But the boda man is saying, your saucepan is near the road. Your saucepan is where I'm passing. I may hit it. Sembeza yompitewo. Naye ng'ate, omwana bamugobye. It's the food that has to generate money for school fees. Hmm? You listening to me, you would be a student. You woke up early morning, you went to school. As you reached at the doorway, at the entrance, at the gate, they informed you can't enter, you have a balance. A balance of how much? 100,000. Go home and bring it. You know the truth inside you that if this money was at home, I would have brought the money. You smartly turn and go back home. Even when you know that at home, no money. Hmm? Even you're not sure whether mom, dad will get that money tomorrow. But because you have an option, you turn and go home. You ask all questions are looking at you. Rwachinze, why me? Hmm? You have no hope of whether tomorrow or even you will achieve your dreams. Hmm? Have friends of mine down here at Ndeba Road. Abana bavuga obugaali. They ride bicycles. They transport people and a few goods on bicycles. You find a gentleman pedaling a bicycle. And like from here to almost town, 500. You think someone has to ride how many people to generate money? When you find these people and you are in a car, they may not need much money from you. They just need a word of hope that you are just gathering evidence. You're just gathering testimony for tomorrow. It will be history that it's you who never had fees. Hmm? Those women, old women, our mothers who are in these restaurants, indeed they would prefer better plates. Because when I go there, one time you find when they have served you on a plastic plate, it becomes worse when you ask for some water for drinking. You may laugh at the cup. I'm talking of the restaurants under these shades and alongside. Hmm? This person would afford to get a better plate. The person would afford to get a better cup. Worth that one you deserve or you need. Worth that one at Sheraton, at any hotel. Mention it. Hmm? But that's capital. That's capital. When someone gets money and buys a good plate, buys a good cup, that's the woman's capital. And when he uses capital, what should he do? You left home and you have convinced children, I'm coming back tomorrow, you're going to school. Ziweze sawa 12 za kawungezi tunafuna na 10. You go to these women in these restaurants. You find if it's, let's say, the food of matoke, when it has got to the best in those banana leaves. They will call it mu Luganda nga emmere eboobedde ddala. Not that the woman wanted to make it to the best, but because she had an option. There were no customers to eat. All what you're going through, even those that have not talked about at this Haki show today, it may be indeed quite a challenging moment. Tears are many. You have really shedded the tears to the worst. But you're just gathering evidence. You're gathering your testimony. You're gathering your story of the better person tomorrow. You're gathering your story to tell people tomorrow that I was once like this. And for those who are no longer in such situations, you're no longer on probability that you will eat lunch or supper. Don't laugh at these people. What they just need is hope that tomorrow it will be better. I remember around 2006, deep in Kisungu, the place is called Kisungu. Kisungu is inside there, but from Kagadi, Kibale district in Kagadi. We had one chair and it was for only visitors. Abasigadde, we sit down and you think down, what have we put down? No mat. Once. If you check or you had checked the cups we would use, we people, abomunju, we, children of the house, we are not supposed to use a cup that is good. We had to use a cup with some parts off. We had to use a cup either with no handle or with a given part off, because if we use a better one, we may also spoil it. Now, and if a visitor comes, we may not get where to serve the visitor from. Not that we wanted, but because that was the situation. I believe there are still people in such a situation. There are some people who are still going through the same situation. True, that is it now, but you're just gathering your testimony tomorrow. You were father of children 2, 3, or 1, but even you're not sure of whether today you will generate some money to buy or to pay fees of this child. You take the child at school, they reach a point of sending the child back home before even you deposit an amount. not because you want, but because you have no option. When you find a person who was once in such a situation, but laughing at people who are in that situation because they are no longer in that situation, just tell them that's where you were. And you were like that. Thank God that you're no longer there. But even those who are there, tomorrow they will not be there. Embeera eyo enkya simwogenda okubeera. Beera n'essuubi nti enkya bijja singawo. Ojja kubanga bino byonna birina bino. Bijja kuba binyumyo. Ng'onyumya binyumye nti naliko mu mbeera bw'eti. Si kyangu kukkiriza. It's not easy to believe for someone in such a situation. And even what to eat, you're compromising it because not because that's what you want, but because that's the ability at the moment. Those who know cassava flour was the cheapest food in our place. Twagulanga obuwunga bwa muwogo. Kilo 1 kg by then was around 600 over 700 nusu lusanvu kilo oba kati ndowooza eri ku 1300 over 1500 over 2000 around there, but by then 1 kg of cassava flour was around 700 over 600 like where it no so half 300 of cassava. But you think we buy it, we eat it with what? Either peanuts. I have ever eaten the kalo, cassava flamingo, cassava flour, with water and salt. Today's show, if for you what I'm speaking, you find that you don't know, then please, it's not your show. Because I know we happen to have planned people. Now what I'm talking about, even you're imagining over what am I talking about, the show is not yours. Let me communicate to a few who understand what I'm saying. When I start talking about challenging and tough times, the show may not end. When would we get to eat some good food? And how many times in a year? But I'm not narrating this because I want, but because I know there is someone still at this moment who is going through this situation. You're buying cassava flour, not because you want to eat cassava flour, but because it is the cheapest food matching with your budget. Wali obaddeko ng'ova ku mulimu n'ogamba kantambuleko ninyire wali naye nga olugendo lw'otambudde lwe luwanvu. Toseka naye ng'olowooza byangu. Omusajja n'oba ng'ova ku mulimu n'ogamba kantambule n'otambula osobole okulinnyira a given distance. N'otambula okuva nga wano n'otambula nga kale katugambe kilomita nga okuva ku mulimu w'okolera n'otuuka w'osula kilomita ziringa 3. They are like 3 kilometers from your workplace to home where you rent. But you walk 2 kilometers to board. Otambula olugendo oluwanvu osobole okufuna w'olinyira ogende ewaka naye ng'olowooza gwayagala otambula nga si gwayagala naye nga nsawo yeegamba nti tambulawo paka wootuuka ng'osolinnyira 500 oba 1000. Naye nga ggwe ali mu kutambula ng'ogenda osobole okulinnya ku takisi ey'olukumi oba ey'ebitaano, ng'osobole okufuna takisi ey'ebitaano oba 1000, ewaka landiroodi wamugambye bwe wayita ennaku 2 ajja akime ssente ze. Nina baganda bange simanyi oba sheeno mugiraba naye nga ku makya walidde capati, emisana walidde capati n'ebijanjaalo, olw'eggulo olidde capati. Sigamba nti y'emmere gy'oyagala naye kubanga bwe busobozi bw'ensawo. That's the ability of your pocket. Sijja genda wala, sho ndowooza katugimalire awo. Mubeere bulungi, mweraba.